CBS News Miami.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Naja Sherman, and welcome to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. Let's take a look at today's top stories. We have new developments on a story that we have been following for you here on CBS News Miami. Just hours ago, there was more court action in Florida in former President Trump's classified documents case. Trump, as well as his personal valet, pleaded not guilty to the new charges. This while his Mar-a-Lago property manager had his arraignment postponed. CBS News Miami's Christian Benavides has more from the courthouse in Fort Pierce.
This was an arraignment on new charges related to the classified documents case against former President Trump, his personal valet, Walt Nauta, and the Mar-a-Lago property manager, Carlos de Oliveira. Both the former president and Nauta entered their not guilty pleas. Mr. Trump did not appear in court. He waived his appearance, but Nauta was there. Carlos de Oliveira did not have Florida counsel for the second time, and his arraignment was postponed. In Florida, you must have local counsel present. His D.C. attorney, John Irving, told the judge they've identified local counsel but have not yet secured it. We asked Irving about that as he left the courthouse. Mr. Irving, why no Florida counsel yet? Can you explain what happened?
I'll have more to say after Mr. de Oliveira is acquitted.
The new charges are in connection to allegations that all three co-defendants conspired to attempt to hide security footage from the special counsel's office. A new hearing for Mr. de Oliveira is set for next Tuesday. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Fort Pierce, Florida.
The mayor of Hialeah is responding to allegations that hundreds of 911 calls have gone unanswered. Just this week, Councilman Brian Calvo shared documents. He says they show major problems at the 911 center. According to the report, almost 1,900 calls were missed during the month of May. The mayor of Hialeah addressed the controversy surrounding the 911 system and the missed calls. Take a listen.
Half of those calls never even reached our 911 center. Let me repeat that. Half of those calls never even reached our 911 center. And the other half of those calls were hang-ups, missed dials, or abandoned within the first 5 seconds of reaching our system.
Mayor Bovo went on to say that they have reviewed numerous applications for positions inside the call centers, but he says many of the applicants don't meet the criteria for the job. Parents and community members who are hoping to hear the state's education commissioner at a town hall meeting tonight may be left disappointed. 2 state senators and a member of the Miami-Dade School Board invited Commissioner Manny Diaz Jr. to discuss the new African-American history teaching standards. Initially, he agreed, but now they say he's backed out. The commissioner took to social media to defend his decision. In a tweet responding to our own CBS News Miami's Jim DeFeedy, Diaz said, quote, "There was nothing sudden about my inability to attend Senator Jones's town hall. As I told the senator last week, I will be visiting schools throughout the state to welcome back students, parents, and teachers for the first day of school." As students get ready to head back to school, district leaders are addressing confusion. It's over gender identity and sexual orientation and AP psychology classes. It's in light of new laws in the state of Florida. Broward County Public Schools is asking parents of high school students to opt in to the AP psychology course. The district will treat it as an elective.
We are giving parental rights to that and letting them sign and understand that they have access to the curriculum online, which gives them the opportunity to say, this is a great course for my child. I'm giving permission for them and it's age appropriate. My child is ready for this.
Miami-Dade County Public Schools also sent us this statement. It says they will offer high school students the AP psychology course this year. Our partners at the Miami Herald report the learning material will not be altered in any way. In Hawaii, 36 people are dead after a series of wildfires tore through the island. Crews are battling 3 wildfires across the island of Maui. They are now getting assistance from the Hawaii Army National Guard. 2 helicopters are dropping huge buckets of water on these deadly fires. Exactly how the fires erupted has not been determined, but forecasters say winds from Hurricane Dora hundreds of miles away fanned the flames leading to this devastation.
This is a Next Weather Alert from CBS News Miami.
And now taking a live look at downtown Miami, it is another scorcher. It is brutal out there. We are once again under a heat warning. Next Weather Chief Meteorologist and Hurricane Specialist Ivan Cabrera has the very latest on what we need to know and also has an update on this year's hurricane season.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot to cover here on this Thursday, Naja, and we'll do that with this heat warning. Unprecedented. This is the third day in a row. We've never had that happen in South Florida here, but there it is until 7 o'clock with feels like temperatures up to 115. And then lesser, but still an advisory down towards the Keys with feels like numbers approaching 110. We are getting that big assist from the thunderstorms. And in fact, I'm thinking the potential even for flooding later this afternoon. That's how heavy the storms are going to be. There are the 90s that continue. You factor in the humidity. We're up to 107 in both Miami and Fort Lauderdale. And just astonishing there once again, Marathon at 113 degrees. There is Next Radar Network and a lot of storms. We had a couple of earlier showers and storms, and that helped cool things off a little bit. Those are done. Now this is what we have. A huge cluster here across the Everglades, and that is also impacting we have two outflow boundaries, one coming out of those storms and then one coming out of the storms that occurred earlier. So what happens, you get these lines, right? The air can't go down. It has to go up as it rises, it cools, condenses. They act like little mini cold fronts, and then you start getting downpours big time. Those can be explosive thunderstorms at times. So we'll watch that closely. Rain Tracker will have that for you for the next hour, and you can see what is going to pass through here between 4 and 7 o'clock, particularly towards the evening hours. We'll continue to keep you posted, but if that materializes, and the models have been insisting throughout the day, we could be looking at the potential for some flooding there. Then things begin to wind down as we get closer to 10 o'clock. Temperatures still warm in the low 80s. We're going to have much more limited rain chances tomorrow because dry air is going to be on top of us. That has diminished for today, but that will limit storms tomorrow, and then we have a strong southeast wind that'll push any storms to the other side of the coast. This is the weekend forecast. It hasn't changed. We are still depending on that tropical wave to come in. It's going to be to our south, but there should be enough moisture hoisted north where we should get in on showers and thunderstorms. This is Friday morning. Tomorrow, southeast wind always gives us a few isolated morning showers, but look at the transition by the afternoon. Lunchtime Friday, all the storms begin to push to the west because we're going to have a strong easterly flow that's going to take care of that. We have a westerly flow today, so that's why the storms are coming at us in that direction. All right, the tropics, big update today from NOAA. The National Hurricane Center now predicting a 60% chance of the season being above average, and two key reasons for that. Look at the forecast earlier in the season. Now 14 to 21, 6 to 11 hurricanes, and 2 to 5 of those likely becoming Cat 3s or higher. The key is record warm ocean temperatures and the fact that the El Nino caused wind shear that disrupts the storms not going to be there for the rest of the season. So that means we have to watch things very closely. Not a landfall forecast, but the higher, obviously, that we have as far as storms during the season, the more we look at it here. As far as the forecast for the next 7 days, there you see the temperatures in the 90s and the rain chances going up with that tropical wave arriving for the weekend.
Wow, lots to cover. Thank you, Ivan. When we come back, controversial rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine has once again found himself on the wrong side of the law. The new charges he's facing next. Stay with us. Welcome back to CBS News Miami's 4 p.m. Quickcast. 6 people are now under arrest in Ecuador. It is following the assassination of a presidential candidate. Fernando Villavicencio was gunned down last night at a campaign event. The suspected shooter died during a shootout with police. Shortly afterwards, the current president of Ecuador said on social media that he was outraged and shocked. Rapper Tekashi 6ix9ine, whose real name is Daniel Hernandez, has been arrested by the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office. 27-year-old was booked on a charge of failure to appear in court. This stems from a traffic stop where an officer cited Hernandez for not having proof of insurance and operating an unregistered vehicle. After failing to appear in court, a judge issued a warrant for his arrest. Hernandez bonded out early this morning. This arrest comes months after he was beaten by 3 men at an LA Fitness in Lake Worth. We have an update now on a story that we first brought you right here on CBS News Miami's Quickcast. Social media personality Sanat is set to appear in court. The announcement comes after fallout from his New York City PlayStation giveaway. It quickly turned violent over the weekend and forced a police shutdown. Sanat will appear before a judge next Wednesday. It's unclear exactly what charges he is facing. In Pinecrest, the city appears to be in a peacock predicament. The neighborhood is being overrun by these large and noisy birds. Neighbors complain that the peacocks are driving them cuckoo, scratching up homes and cars and creating a mess on their driveways. Pinecrest plans to take part in a pilot program. They plan to curb the population by giving the male peacocks vasectomies.
One peacock is great, 2 is adorable, 10, 15, 20 in a flock can really impact a neighborhood and homeowners.
And the commissioner says if the plan works in Pinecrest, it could be implemented in other communities as well. Many teens enjoy their summers just hanging out, but 4 high school seniors spent the majority of their summer working hard and giving back. CBS News Miami's Terry Hornstein has the report.
At first it was for college, but I ended up thinking after orientation that this could change my life, and it did.
A life-changing 8 weeks for Stephen Gatz and 3 other Broward County students.
The experience allowed us to be connected with different students that are like-minded, just like us.
We get to learn how to work with our communities.
So I really learned how to work in a group and manage my time well.
The teens didn't spend their last summer before senior year hanging at the pool or lounging around the house. They spent every day working at the YMCA, creating helpful classes and events for people of all ages.
I really enjoyed working a 9 to 5, surprisingly.
We've worked with helping with technology with the active older adults. We help with the kids in terms of summer camp.
The 4 students were selected for Bank of America's Student Leaders Program because of their hard work. All 4 founding organizations or giving back in their own communities and schools. For example, Bolton Bazil creating Planting the Seed, a group inspiring local youth to volunteer. Melissa Bermudez teaches minority students skills in STEM, helping them prepare for the future. And all 4 continuing that work at the Y.
It's a really humbling experience, and it's also a comforting experience because you realize you're not alone in your journey.
The internship culminates with a week-long trip to Washington, D.C., where these young leaders had the chance to talk to legislators about the issues that matter to them and the people in their communities.
We were allowed to talk about issues that we notice within our communities and to really express that.
The students already giving so much and eager to learn how they can do more.
Having conversations with those people just made me open my eyes to how many problems this nation has and how necessarily not easy it is to fix, but how we can fix it at such a young age, and it's a lot more reachable than I thought it was.
I will dedicate my life and time to understanding these communities more and helping them out even if I'm not in that situation.
And the seniors say they didn't only learn from the internship, they also learned a great deal from each other.
From Stephen, I learned about financial literacy. When I started at the Y, I didn't really know much about money and healthy habits, and so he really taught me a lot. Melissa, she's a really good health advocate. She taught me about mental health and all of the issues that are happening in America, so I'm really grateful for that. And Alana, she's been amazing because she's helped me a lot with my public speaking skills.
On the external, you'll see all the research and project output we've had, but on the internal, you'll see a family that will change you forever.
These soon-to-be seniors spending their summer gaining job experience and learning about the impact they can make in all aspects of their lives. Truly, the future of South Florida. In the studio, Terry Hornstein, CBS News, Miami.
That's your Quickcast. Thanks for joining us.